Everybody, welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making two dishes, aljotta, and I'm going to make an octopus salad, okay? Pretty much I've prepared all the ingredients to try and make this go as fast as possible for everybody. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the aljotta. While I'm doing that, I'll discuss what I've done with the octopus and how I've prepared it for the salad. And what I'm going to do is save some to make octopus stew with during the week as well, okay? So I'll get in detail about the preparation, everything I've done as we go. Okay, so the aljotta, what I've done is I got fish stock, which I bought a pre-packaged liquid fish stock. I couldn't find fish cubes for some unknown reason today. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I've done that, and I've added some vegetar stock, and I've also added some hot water to it to dissolve everything. So that's my stock. I'll probably add another half a litre of water as we go along. All right, so the aljotta, what we have to do with the onions and some butter, we're going to do some sautéing, obviously, some garlic. Aljotta is a very, very garlicky dish, okay? So this is fresh garlic, powerful as, so you don't think there's a lot there, but there actually is. We use some fresh mint, which I've chopped up already, and also some beautiful herbs, which is parsley, which is my favourite herb of all time, okay? With the fish, I went to my fishmonger today, told him what I wanted. I've used part of the octopus body, okay, to make a bit of the flavour going into the stock. I've kept the fish head, that's going to work hard. Now the fish frame as well, it's complete. And what I'm going to do with that as it steams out, after it's steamed out, I'm going to remove some of the flesh out of it, and I'm going to put it into the soup dish itself, okay? So, but we need all the ugly bits in there. It just has to happen. We want the flavour to come through. I know we have fish stock, but it can't resemble what we're going to do right now, okay? And what I'm going to do is, the soup is meant to be very brothy. Okay, but what I like to do is, me being me, it's not going to be like some kind of broiler or something. It's going to be a dish where it's going to be very nice and brothy with the rice in it and the tomato. But I'm going to add a couple of ingredients in there just for appearance, you know, just to put it in the plate, put it on the bowl, and have a nice prawn sitting in there, and some octopus pieces I've cut up as well. It's going to be a very delicate soup, and I'm going to keep it that way. I am still following authentic Maltese tradition. The only addition is I've changed a few ingredients. I'm not going to put ugly fish frames in there for you guys to see. I'm not going to put lobster tails in there or prawn heads, all that kind of garbage that you want the flavour out of. The fish stock should be able to help you with all that as well, okay? So I'm avoiding all the bad ugly stuff that we saw as kids growing up. I hated seeing the dish cooked as I grow up. I hated the smell in the house, and I hated the taste of it, okay? I'm trying to change your guys' opinions and minds. We're going to put a good smell back into the kitchen again. Okay, and we're going to have a really, really nice dish, okay, which you don't have to see the ugly bits, okay? So anyway, this pot's almost heated up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with some butter and some onion. I'm going to saute. It's just your typical brown onion. I've diced all the onion nice and fine, okay? That will render down in size as it goes along through its 30-minute simmer, okay? So we're going to put that in right now. And we're going to start the simmer process. And then what we'll do is, once we've got some of the ingredients in, which I'll explain as we go, my favourite chopper knife. I might turn this fan up so you guys see what's actually going on here. And turn the heat down a little bit now, the pot's nice and hot. Oh yeah, that's already happening. Okay, so okay, so we've got the sweetness of the onion happening in the bottom of the pot already, and I've wound the heat back just a little bit. All the recipes that I've found, they usually like to use olive oil. I'm a butter freak. I'll use butter in place of olive oil, providing that you don't raise to a temperature too high to burn the butter. And the same thing happens with olive oil as well. They actually go hand in hand and quite well together in sauteing many things. But trying to keep things lean and going on, I'm just going to stick with the butter. It's what I've always done, okay? So that's all sauteing nicely there now, really nicely. So we're going to throw in some herbs. I've got the garlic, which I'm going to put in about a minute before I put the stock in. You should never cook the garlic at the same rate as you cook the onion. This will burn off, put a bad taste for your whole dish. Seriously, you don't want that, okay? Trust me, that'll take 5 seconds to saute. And then put it in just before you put your stock in, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to put in beautiful mint, okay, which I've diced up really nicely, and that'll saute nicely in the butter. Okay, I've also got some parsley, my favourite herb of all time, which is going to go into the saute pot as well. And we're going to stir that around. Now, we need to remember we don't have to saute this till it's soft as, because it actually is going to go in to the dish with some stock, and it's going to sit there simmering away for a long time. Okay, now you can see there, now this is all quite hot. Let me get myself a pair of gloves. There we go. Alright, so we're just basically simmering away there, okay, which is nice. Okay, by the way, oh, that smells great. You can smell the mint coming right out of all that right now. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually toss in the garlic. So the longest part of this dish is the simmer, which goes for about 30 minutes. I'm not going to show you that. I'll just show you what the end result is after I've got as far as I can before the lengthy simmer process. Okay, so that's all going in now. Now, after boiling that octopus for 45 minutes, I'm telling you now, the kitchen smells a whole lot better. It smelled like a garbage dump before when I was boiling up the octopus. Okay, so I'm glad to have this smell back in the kitchen again. Trust me. Okay, so that it smells great. Okay, so that's all happening there. Now, I'm running a little bit low on butter there. You can see the onions absorbed it all, and so is the veg. So I'm just going to put a smidge more in there to get the saute happening a lot better. Okay, and that's happening quite nicely. Alright, just a small amount more time more and we'll be good. About 5 minutes is what it takes to saute an onion on a medium heat. Okay, on a high heat all you're going to do is burn it. On a low heat there you're just going to soften it up, but it'll just take you twice as long. Alright, I prefer the low heat process. You know, a good 10-minute saute. We don't have time for this. You know, it's a Maltese kitchen. We just want to get the food out. Anyway, so here we are now. We've got that process there, pretty good. We're going to throw in, so I bought some prawns, deveined them, deshelled them. I'm just going to toss them in. Some of the octopus that I bought earlier on was a large octopus. I've just basically sliced some down into nice thin sectors, and that should be pretty nice as well in the dish. And that's going to be the whole heartiness of the dish right there. There's not much else to go in it apart from the rice. And after the fish is steamed and all the juices have gone through the stock of the soup, I will take some of the meat out of the fish itself. Discard the head, discard the tail and the octopus pieces, the other pieces there. But I'll use a little bit of the flesh out of that to bring some more body into the soup. Okay, so that's coming out nicely as well. All right, so pretty much we're ready to throw our stock in. Okay, and I'm going to throw a little bit there because there's still something else to add that I need to do. So we're going to use canned peeled tomatoes, whole. Okay, now I need to chop these down a little bit. I need to use a alota of Vilma. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sit there and just easily chop those beautiful Roma tomatoes up out of that can. Okay, dice them out a little bit. I've got a little bit of stock happening down there. I've done that to stop the onion from burning while I'm talking to you. Okay, and that's looking grand already. Okay, I'll show you in a moment if you can't see it all. Okay, so that's happening there, doing its thing. We're going to get these tomatoes in, which I've just diced up now. In the pot it goes. Okay. Now I've got a feeling I've got some issues here. Nope, we're good with the burner. I'm going to put that back on full heat. We're going to stir those tomatoes in. Whoops. I never said I wasn't a messy cook, by the way. Alright. Okay, that's looking great. Okay. So this stock is going to really get quite well, I can tell straight away. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take advantage of all the conserva I've got in that tomato can. And I'm going to use that to make a complete 1.5 litres of stock, including the fish stock and the vegetar stock I just made earlier on. Okay, so that's the basis of our soup right there. We let this come up to a simmer. Okay, so we have the fish here. Now, ordinarily, you would put this into a muslin, you would tie a knot in it and plonk it in like a tea bag into the stock, and then it'll just simmer away for half an hour and do its thing. But this is the method my parents have used, and it's the method that I will use all the time. It just makes it easy to pick out what you want to use out of the fish to put it into the body of the soup when you're serving it up. Okay, so man, I've seen some ugly cuts go into these soups when I was growing up. I used to go fishing with my dad when I was a kid up Brooklyn in New South Wales, Barrera waters, and we used to keep all the fish we used to catch. And I used to love catching fish, but I used to hate coming home knowing Dad was going to cook aljotta. Okay. As we grow up, our taste buds change dramatically. I've been pining for this dish for a long time, just to bring back a little bit of my childhood, just to taste it again and say, yeah, I remember having that in the family. Okay, so that's going to sit over the top and steam. Okay, so what we're going to do is rub a bit of stock through it. That's going to steam out, and then we're going to get the rest of the stock in as it comes up to the boil. That's going to be one beautiful soup, okay? And I'll show you in a second. I'll pull the fish frames back out and I'll show you what the stock looks like. A bit more prepared today. I didn't want the dirty kitchen like I had last time when I did that cook up with the fettuccine. I'm not going to go there again. I want to try and keep a tidy kitchen, okay? So anyway, hope you can see, guys, but this is pretty much what I've built up. You can see that clearly. Okay, I've built up a really nice stock with lots of herbs in there, the garlic, the onion. It's just going to present itself beautifully. Got some octopus cuts in there and the prawns raw, by the way. Don't put cooked prawns in there. They'll just turn out into chewing gum by the time it's ready to eat. Okay, so we're going to do that. We need to put a lid on that so it does steam. Okay. You don't need a steamer for this. As I said, this is a process that my parents used and it's worked time and time again. So I'll find the lid for this, sorry. So that takes about half an hour for that to steam the fish. The juice comes out of the fish, drops into the soup. This is a full cup of rice, but I'm going to add about half a cup of rice after about half an hour. Hopefully there's still enough stock in there. I might have to add a little bit of water, I don't know. But half a cup of the rice is about equivalent that you would use for about 1.5 litres of stock, which is exactly what I've got in there, okay? So half of that will go into there, straight after about 20 minutes simmer. And then once the rice is cooked, the dish is cooked, and it's about getting the fish meat out and re-simmering it in the soup. A little bit blocked up. So right, so we've got our aljotta on, our fish soup on. That's all happening. And then what I've done a little bit earlier on is I bought a full octopus, a large octopus, a really large one, and I boiled it for a good 45 minutes, possibly an hour. It's tender as. And then what I've done to get all the skin off it, okay, that's the body there. To get the skin off it is just to make it look more pleasant when you eat it. There's nothing wrong with eating the skin at all. But what you do once it's boiled and it cools down, you just wash it. And the black skin will just peel straight off it. No need to get it all off. It's just an aesthetic thing, just there for looks and presentation, okay? So I've done that. So I'll chop some of this down now, and I'll soak it in olive oil, and then I'll get it ready for the grill, okay? Alongside of that, what I've done is I've gone to the local shopping village, and I picked up some garden leaves, okay? Some bitter leaves, and a variety of leaves in a bag. I've just chopped up some tomatoes in there, which are in there. Okay, I have an onion for the final server, a lemon for the final server. Okay, I've got some, as you can see in there. Okay, I've got some Spanish onion, I've got some capers, I've got some mixed olives in there. I've got some beautiful olives today. So I've got black olives, calamatas, and I've got some beautiful green olives as well. Okay, they'll go into the salad. as well as the charred grilled octopus. Okay, so that's what's happening there. And I'm also going to throw some feta into the mix as well. Feta's beautiful. And then I'll drizzle the entire salad with an olive oil, and then we'll present it on a plate, and you'll see how good it'll look. Okay, it'll be great. Hi everybody, this is part 2 of my aljotta and my octopus dish salad. So what I've done now is, just to let you know what I've done, is I've done the process of putting the rice into the stock. Now that has simmered away for about 15 minutes now. The rice is nice and soft. This is ready to serve up. Just before I put this video back on again, I removed the meat out of the fish and I dropped it into the stock itself to give it some texture and some body and some more flavour into the soup. We have to remember this is a brothy dish. It's more so than a chunky, hearty dish, okay? So I've done this quite well, and I'll just show you what I've done. If you can see that there. So that's what's left of the fish and the prawns and whatever else I put in there, the octopus. I've stripped the meat off, I've taken the skin off the fish. I've used the flesh itself, and I've stripped it down into almost like tuna fillets and dropped them in the soup. Okay, so that's done. So discard that, we're finished with all that. The aljotta itself is here, it's ready to go, and that looks fantastic. Alright, I'm not saying that because I cooked it, but I'm just so impressed with the dish itself. Look how good that's coming out, okay? So this could probably, realistically, I'd probably put another half a litre of water in this dish and make more stock, and you wouldn't have to add any flavour into it. It would just stock up really nice. But right here, right now, I'm just serving what's coming straight out of the bowl. And you can see there, I got fish flake through it. Hopefully you can see it all. Fish flake through it there, a couple of prawns that I've chucked in, okay? And I'm going to use some of the stock over the top now to make it more of a broth. I'm telling you what, guys, I've outdone myself today. And a little bit of garnish here. Ladies and gentlemen, that's aljotta, okay, from Andrew's kitchen, okay. It's very good to go. Trust me, it'll taste nice. That's done there. As you can see, the pot has slimmed down a little bit as the rice has absorbed all the stock. Half a litre of water back in that again. Put it back on a slow simmer to heat up the water again, and just keep serving it up to everybody else, okay. So that's one dish done, which I'm very, very proud of right now. I don't think I've ever even tried to cook it once myself. All I'm going by is what I've seen my parents do, and I followed that tradition. It may have taken 30 plus years for me to do so, but I got there. Okay, so that's done. The octopus salad. So I finally charred grilled all the octopus, and I raked it in for the salad, and I also threw some feta cheese in there as well. While you were gone, I toasted some very, very nice wood-fired bread, and there's my salad right there, octopus salad with some massive sized croutons. All right, now that's restaurant quality, straight up there. That's going to taste fantastic. The octopus will probably render down to nothing. You won't need teeth to eat that octopus, trust me. All right, so that's another dish I made there. Now the leftover ockie, which I've got plenty of, I'm going to attempt a dish of which I've made before, a few times before, because I don't mind it, is octopus stew. Okay, and that'll be my next tip I'll be making for you guys. Andrew's kitchen. What can I say? Octopus salad, aljotta, traditional aljotta, by the way. Octopus salad, Mediterranean style. I hope you enjoyed what you've seen today. Take care. Good luck. God bless.